It was a year ago. It was, 15 months ago, I believe, when Seth Wickersham of ESPN came out with that expose on the Patriots. This was pretty much the beginning of the end. Is this the end of the Patriots? And, of course, we realized that it wasn't. Their state of the union of what was happening with the Patriots and turmoil and what was going on, Brady and Belichick, and, it was just a mess behind the scenes. And then, lo and behold, they win the Super Bowl. Tom E. Curran, Patriots insider, NBC Sports Boston, joining us. Does it seem like it was 15 months ago that article came out on ESPN?
Well, the funny thing is, Dan, that a lot of it, and I wrote the week prior that there was an end-of-the-party feel to it and guys were grabbing their coats and heading out. A lot of it came to fruition. But what the Patriots are trying to do, and they might be on their way to successfully doing, is rebooting and creating kind of the Patriots 3.0 version of the dynasty, because they certainly were in the 2.0 and it was waning. So, yeah, I think the funny thing is there was nothing inaccurate about that, whether it be my reporting or Seth's reporting or anyone's reporting. It's just that when push came to shove, they got through it and put the football first.
Also, you're looking at, so are they reinventing themselves again? It feels like no team has reinvented themselves as many times as the Patriots. And by that, I mean, are they a defensive team? Are they an offensive team? Are they neither? Are they balanced? What?
They're a power football team. They're turning themselves into a power football team. You see it in the draft. You see it in the offensive players they took. You see it in their trend towards going to a running style offense, much more balanced, not run heavy, not run oriented, not run first, but much more physical. The receiver they take at the top of the draft is kind of like an Anquan Bolden, Des Bryant, body people up type receiver. And defensively, they have a great secondary, so they want to play, I don't want to get too far into the X's and O's, but press man, get up in your face, smash people around. So I think it's fascinating to see the direction they're going now into the 2020s.
Does Belichick make all the draft picks?
Ultimately, but they do have very much a collaborative way in which they put the board together. Belichick is consistently appreciative of Monty Austinfort, who's the director of college scouting, and Nick Caserio. They do all the work. They set the boards. What's fascinating is they have such a small staff, especially this year because they barely hired any coaches, that it's a collaborative effort between those people. It's not like Belichick gets all the info, tells everybody to screw, and says, we're taking this guy.
I find it amazing, though, that no information gets out with the Patriots.
You're telling me?
Yeah.
You are telling me.
But I was told a long time ago, and not too long ago, that the Patriots were interested in Josh Rosen. And it was even told to me under like this veil of secrecy. You can't even say, sources close to or any of that stuff. And I didn't know if they could have gotten Josh Rosen, did they want him more than, the guy that they drafted, Jarrett Stidham?
All right. And I'm not disputing your source.
Yeah.
But this goes to, you're pretty smart. You know some people. I'm sure the people you talk to are also well plugged in. I've been doing this for a while. I talked to some people here. I heard the opposite.
Yeah.
They just didn't value him at that level. So this goes to the, they screw everybody up. They're very opaque. They're very opaque. So as a result, I don't think that they ever really wanted Josh Rosen. Even though I thought it made a hell of a lot of sense, you're not going to get a top 10 value if you're the New England Patriots at the quarterback position anytime soon. So it made sense to me. But Stidham, really, when you look at it and you watch his film, you see why they are enticed, especially if he can sit there as an apprentice. My God, he's going to jump off the page during training camp as the guy who delivers the best football, and that includes the greatest quarterback to play.
Is he the heir apparent?
He's going to have every opportunity to prove it. He's going to have because Tom Brady had it in him at the age of 37 to 40 to beat back the Jimmy Garoppolo challenge, and he did it successfully and screwed up the Patriots' entire plan. I think that in this instance, I don't know if he's going to have it in him again. Not that he wouldn't have the stomach for it, but just that, not that he wouldn't have the talent, but just he might be, you know what? Okay, year 22, I'm all set. This kid can have it.
But does Brady take him under is he one of those guys that can take you under his wings and help you?
he can do either one. And he absolutely, he wasn't actively hiding Jimmy Garoppolo's helmet, but he didn't really go overboard to try and shepherd him into taking his job, and I don't blame him for that. I mean, he's built something here. He moved his family here. He built a palatial Brookline estate. Got his kids going to school, and he's going to help Jimmy Garoppolo succeed. Screw that. But he didn't actively try to undermine him. I think in Stidham's case, I think he'll probably follow the same approach. A lot of these guys, whether it's Wes Welker with Julian Edelman or any other NFL address, these guys say, you know what, learn it from the coaches. I'm not a coach. Figure it out for yourself. And then at some point, they might start to help and give them some tips.
We're talking to Tommy Curran, the Patriots insider, NBC Sports Boston. Any chance Gronk comes back?
I think people like us, and that includes people within the Patriots organization and media, are a lot more hopeful and optimistic than they ought to be. And the things that Gronk has said, I encountered him on the road just by happenstance a few weeks ago. He's happy as hell. This is the first time in 20-odd years he hasn't had somebody up his posterior telling him where to go, where to be, and to put his body in harm's way. So we'll see how he feels, but I wouldn't say it's a done deal. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I wouldn't say that it's a done deal that people like myself felt it might have been when he initially stepped away.
Where does the situation between Robert Kraft and the NFL stand on any discipline for him?
What I found interesting was when Roger Goodell said at the owners' meetings, when asked about Kraft, he said, we're going to be smart and fair about it, which would be a huge deviation from the norm when it comes to discipline in the NFL. So it almost indicated that, look, we're not going to rush to judgment on you, Robert. If you have a plausible, bizarre explanation for what exactly would cause you on a Saturday afternoon to stroll up to a strip mall spa and do whatever. I think that they're going to try and be fair about it, but that's what's interesting to me is the way you're going to continue to fight this. If your only issue is you don't want the video out, then just take the plea deal. Everyone has long since gotten over it now that the notion of human trafficking at that location or in that investigation has not been unearthed. Just say, look, we got a little confused as to what was going to happen in there. So I don't want the video out. C'est la vie. But fighting to pretend that you're not going to get suspended if this thing gets somehow thrown out, I think, unless he's got an assurance of that, is wrongheaded.
But I think the video still gets out, though, Tom, whether he pleads or not. I mean, isn't that
does.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's the thing. You're exactly right. I'm almost kind of screwing the pooch and explaining it. Even after it goes through, they have that sunshine law or whatever it is, in which every bit of evidence is going to be unveiled. So part of me says Robert Kraft should just say, you know what, if it's going to get out, here's a statement. You might not enjoy what you see, and if you do, I live in Brookline. You can stop by at any time. I mean, think about it. Just do exactly what anybody who has headed off an investigation in the past Bezos. How did Jeff Bezos undermine the National Enquirer? By saying exactly what they would find. So, I mean, there's a way to circumvent this.
But do you think that affects his role with this team this upcoming season?
No, I don't. I thought it might, but from every indication I've gotten, he hasn't deviated at all from the normal Robert Kraft way of doing things. I mean, he's hands-on. I think that at nearly 80 years old, which is bizarre, he's not as sharp as he probably was 20 years ago. But that doesn't mean I'm sharper than him. I think he's still a brilliant guy and is in control of a lot of things. And, the way he portrayed himself and his comportment at the owners' meetings showed that he's not loosening his hand on the reins of some of the NFL committees that he's on, nor is he leaving himself vulnerable to people saying, you know what, we're not going to deal with this guy anymore. So I think that was an interesting outgrowth of what we've seen in the last couple months.
Tom, good to visit with you. There's no controversy, no drama up there. This is kind of weird.
No, never. No, nothing to talk about.
No.
I said it was going to be a drama-free off-season. You're joking, right? We have a sex tape with the owner, and we have a Hall of Fame tight end that retired and might come back, and there's no drama. You saying?
All right, that's kind of low on the totem pole for me, you know.
Relative to, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, are you guys going to have a tight end this year with the Patriots? Or are you just going to leave it? You're going to go out there with like 10 guys just as a tribute to Gronk?
I think it's going to be. What do you mean, you guys? I just cover the team. I'm an objective guy.
Oh, okay. All right.
You guys.
Come on.
I don't know. Did you get a ring? Jacob Hollister yesterday. He was like the only guy they had other than Safarian Jenkins. So.
Did you get a Super Bowl ring?
Hey, you know what? I got to go.
Thank you, Tom. Tom E. Curran.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.